good afternoon, YouTube. I'm down here on the little Farm Creek looking thing. Anyway, not filming this little trip. It's nice to fish without a camera every so often. But this video here is one of my older ones, like I've been trying to do for a while. And it was actually one of my favorite ones to do. It was clearance baits only. I think I did one or two other ones. But this one here was some really, really good deals. Like, I think a rod and reel combos that I got at Walmart for like $54 regularly, 13 bucks. Baits $1.50 or $1, something like that. Anyway, I think y'all enjoy this one. I certainly did have fun making this one, so let's get to the video. Clearance crappie fishing challenge? I think so. Alright, it's actually a couple of days later, but we're going to do a clearance only challenge with stuff found at Walmart. And starting with the rod is the Lew's Xfinity Speed Stick. It's a 6.6 medium. I've got it spooled up with some cheap 6-pound mono. These are just the upgraded version or updated version of the ones that came out a couple years ago. Wind grips, really nothing special about them. But these rods are regularly $54. I picked up two of them, $13 a piece. All right, the first bait is probably in most tackle boxes across the country, and that is the Yum 2-inch pearl white curly tail grub. Next bait, these are basically the Arky version of a Bobby Garland. These are the Arky 60-tail shads. Hopefully y'all can kind of see that, I don't know. But it's a shad pattern with like a crystal clear tail with some silver flake. Next up is basically the same body, but with a chartreuse tail. And lastly, it's the same body, just a red and black body with a chartreuse tail. And I've got some tube baits here. I had some just pearl white ones, but they're the Arky solid body tubes, chartreuse, and then pink and white. They did not have any clearance jig heads to use, so I'm using some of my own, probably 1/16 and 1/8, since this rod's a little bit stiff, but I don't have a lot of time, so let's get down there and get to fishing. Y'all look a little bit fuzzy. That's a little bit better. You know, I love my GoPro neck mount, but when you're walking around on rocks and stuff like that, it is literally right in your field of view, right in front of your feet. Alright, starting out, curly tail grub. Sorry about the glare, ain't much I can do about that one. Loosen the drag just a little bit so that we don't really rip the bait out of the fish's mouth. First fish, what do we got? Pretty good one, whatever it is. Oh, it's a huge crappie. Huge crappie. Well, need some slack in my line because I know he ain't hooked that good. There we go. Hey, he's not huge, but he's a dang good one. That's probably 12 inches. Let me get a picture real quick. Alright, let's change out baits real quick. Again, that was the, come on now, how dare us be it like, be it like that, is that a word? I don't know. Yum 2-inch curl tail grub. Just using a little cheap eagle claw ball head jig. Alright, where's the rest of my baits? That is a GoPro battery, that is not a bait. Alright. Next, did I just drop one? Nope. Arky Sexy Tail Shad. These are actually really good looking baits. I may go back and buy the rest of them tomorrow. But all of these Arky baits were on clearance for $1.50 a pack, when they were regularly $2. One of them was marked as $2, but using the Walmart app, I scanned it and it came up as $1.50 like the rest of them. Basically what I'm doing with these baits is just fan casting along this bank all the way around to, you know, basically underneath the bridge, just moving it over 8-10 feet, something like that at a time. Finally, it's been a hot minute. Crappie on the little crystal tail one. Beginning to think I was wasting my time being out here. Bigs. Ooh, belly flop, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Alright. This one here is the same bait but with a chartreuse tail. Whoops. Y'all hear that barking frog? Alright. Let's start back down here. Hopefully this chartreuse tail doesn't take as long to catch a fish. What do we have? Well, it's not a crappie, but I'm going to go ahead and count it since I'm on a little bit of a time constraint here. But, big old red ear sunfish. Now, let's see if I can get that out. Alright, we're going to try a little bit longer or something. I don't know, stuff and things. Try to get a crappie on this color because it is a crappie challenge. I think that's what I said. I don't know. I've been up since 2:30 this morning. Right at the bank. And it's not even a crappie or a red ear. It's a big old green not green sunfish, big old just bucket mouth of a warmouth sunfish. You know, one of these days I'm gonna have to keep them and try them. I've heard that Warmouth sunfish are really good eating. What do we have? Well, it's not a crappie. Another red ear, which is fine. Ain't nary a complaint about that yonder. Since I am running quite short on time, as I do declare, we're gonna switch baits. No, I already did that one. Those are hooks. I can't use those as bait, which actually I could, as dumb as some of the fish are around here. That reminds me, I gotta know, has anybody ever fished somewhere where the fish were just so stupid that you could literally hold the hook in the water between your fingers and catch fish? I have. Of course, I was also about 6 years old and thought it was the funniest thing ever, but now that I've got some years on me, I think it's kind of stupid. Anyway, down to the red, black, and chartreuse. Excuse me. See if that'll catch us one. Then all we've got left is the two baits. Well, not so much lost, but missed a good crappie right there, and I'm in a snag. Woo! That one came back at me about Mock Jesus 0.7. Fish. What is it? Bluegill. We're just catching a multi-species deal here, and that's perfectly okay with me. We're going to try to get one more on this color and then go to the tubes. I don't know what I originally called this video starting out. If it was clearance crappie fishing whatever challenge, it's now a just clearance fishing challenge. Just because. What is that? Dude. 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 That is a freaking giant. That is a freaking giant. That is a freaking giant of a... Oop, almost fell. Warmouth. Whew. That was sure enough big and right yonder. Alright, line untangle. That's definitely one of the biggest warmouths that I have ever caught. All right. That's a pretty dang dense, pretty dang dense body that's on these tubes. Like, that is some solid stuff. Like, it is some kind of solid. So you can bend our hook out just a smidgen. Alright. Yeah, okay distance. It's good enough for where I'm at. Because, I mean, as you've seen, I've had fish bite basically at my feet. And, of course, those shiners just started obliterating the little tails of it. Let's see what kind of action you got. Almost no tail action, but I mean, they're flimsy enough that you can get a little bit of, you know, slop out of it. Fish, and it is a crappie. Not a big crappie, but y'all know how it is. I like my crappies. What's the deal with your fins? You got, like, the end of his pectoral fins or whatever are swollen, kind of like a parasite or something. All right. We have one bait left. Yeah, I wish I could just put into words how stiff this material is that's these archy tubes are made with. Like, you actually have to put some effort into getting a hook into that. These will not tear up very easily. Like, I've honestly, like I've said before, I've never been a huge fan of tube baits, but the durability right off the bat of those has possibly changed my mind just a smidgen. And by the way, exactly how much is a smidgen? Is it a little bit, or just a tad? Or is it just a little bit more than a tad? Or is it, you know, a snoot worth? Or is it quite a bit? Jeez. These baits are stiff. Alright. Anyway, back on topic. One more fish, and we calling this baby. We calling this, and it's also getting cold, so sun going down, it's getting kind of cool. I got work in the morning. Fish, we have completed our clearance fishing challenge with a fine specimen of a black crappie. Well, that was certainly fun, and I hardly ever have challenge videos kind of like this actually play out the way I want them to. I got up here really late. I only had about an hour and a half to fish, and we accomplished our goal. I think it started out as a clearance crappie fishing challenge, but it turned into just a clearance fishing challenge because I got up here really, really late. As you can tell, the sun is over the horizon, so I only had about an hour and a half or so to fish. But yeah, Blues Xfinity rod, regularly $54. Got two of them for 13 bucks. A bunch of little crappie baits for $1.50 a piece, or a pack. And some cheap line that I had on hand, and yeah, we're good to go. I'm gonna have to do this again. Anyway, it's getting cold, it's getting dark, and I've got about a 30 or so minute drive back home. Get ready to deal with work tomorrow. Hope you like the video. Thanks for watching.